This is Luke with another Android Guys podcast. Here always with Scott.
I'm your trusty sidekick.
No, I'm your trusty sidekick.
I'm your loyal servant.
Okay, that's not. Nope. You want to talk about a product that
Today,
you
yeah.
have been working with?
Yep.
What do you got?
Guess.
It's a thing.
It is. It's an air thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We got to figure out a better way to transition into the products. Yes, I'm going to talk to you about Airthings. It's a product, and it's called the View Plus.
The View Plus, okay.
It is, according to them, the most advanced air quality monitor on the market.
Ooh.
It is a pretty cool little guy.
Yeah.
It runs about $299,
Okay.
and this is the type of thing. It's white. It looks like a big, like a flattened pill or capsule.
Okay.
And you can set it on itself. It's standing up on a desk.
Uh-huh.
Put it on a nightstand, a counter, whatever, or you can wall mount it.
Sure.
Plug it in, charge it up. It's got, spoiler alert, an absolutely incredible battery.
Okay.
And we're talking probably months before you have to charge this thing.
Oh, wow.
There are 7 sensors inside of this guy
Uh-huh.
that are designed to keep an eye on your air quality.
Yeah.
Luke, I don't know how much you pay attention to your air quality.
Well, it's funny you say that because I had a chance to look at the Airthings Wave Mini months ago. And I had not looked into air quality around me up until then.
Yeah.
And boy, howdy, there are things in our house that are not quality air.
Well, so, all right. So I used this primarily once I figured it out and played with it, set it up. I said, I know where this is going to go.
Sure.
This is in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Our bedroom is over the garage of our house. And in the summer, that means it's always hot.
Yes.
We have poor air circulation. It's like sleeping in a Dutch oven. It's hot in the ceiling, and it's hot below us.
Mm-hmm.
And we wake up more nights than we'd like to admit, where we just throw the sheet off and we're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Not sweaty.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
And enough to wake you up.
Uncomfortable.
And then here in Ohio, you run into the issue of, it's nice out. Temperature's nice, but it's just so humid.
Mm-hmm.
At night, it gets nice and cool, but then the humidity comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And you wake up and you're like, oh, man, now I'm clammy.
Yeah.
And then there's also air pressure.
Uh-huh.
And there's carbon dioxide to deal with. If you don't have your windows open and you're just like, I'm just going to have a fan on, or just try to, whatever. All of these little things have all of their different ways of impacting you.
Yeah.
To, inability to sleep, inability to focus, headaches, things that can lead to, that are in the air, like pollutants, lead to cancer, heart attacks, things like that. There's a lot of just crap out there that is in the air. Yeah. And if you live in an area where, say, for instance, you're prone to wildfires, like you may not realize it that you've been slowly for a long time breathing some less than desirable air. Sure. So this thing is designed to kind of keep an eye on all kinds of things. Uh-huh. It keeps an eye on radon. Mm-hmm. It checks for carbon dioxide, humidity, air pressure. It also looks for airborne chemicals, and it also looks for particulate stuff in the air. Yep. And also, of course, temperature. Yeah. So you have the ability to kind of go in and you have an app that you can set up, but you can set up how what you want it to display. Sure. So at a glance in our bedroom, we have temperature and humidity. And we can just quickly tell when we come in at night to go to bed, okay, yeah, it's okay. Sure. We might want to turn the air conditioner on. Right. Or if we have the window open, we realize, oh, the humidity is already kind of high. You can set that up to display if maybe you're concerned with particulates in the air.
Yeah.
Or carbon dioxide. Mm-hmm. And, if I need to ventilate this room a little bit better. Sure. So depending on what your concerns are. Now, the app itself will also push notifications to you.
Yep.
And let you know, hey, you might want to keep an eye on this. Mm-hmm. And another nice thing about this is you can kind of walk by and just kind of wave at it, and it lights up a color. Oh. So you can see green, yellow, or red, and basically have an at a glance like, okay, everything's good, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
When I tell you these sensors are good, they are good.
Yeah.
Almost, and actually here I've got a story for you.
Okay.
About a week after I had it set up, mm-hmm. I was here at work, and I got a push notification that the humidity spiked. And you can go in and see a chart, like a graphical representation, and there's green, yellow, and red, and then you can just see that it spiked real high.
Yeah.
I figured out what it was. I texted my wife.
Yeah.
I said, hey, did you just happen to take a shower? She said, yes, I did, creeper. How did you know that? I said, because the humidity, our bathroom is connected to our bedroom.
Yeah.
She's like, that's very scary. And I was like, no, that's very good.
Yeah.
That this thing knew that.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see it go back down over time.
Sure.
But because nobody else was home,
right,
she didn't shut both bathroom doors.
Yeah, sure.
And that humidity came out into our bedroom enough to trigger that.
Yeah.
And push it to me. It says, hey, you need to keep an eye on this. So I can imagine if I lived in an area where, wildfires might be a concern, sure, or a factory or something, mm-hmm, where it's kind of like residential smog and things, that mm-hmm, it's kind of like, I don't really notice it because I live with it.
Yeah.
But if all of a sudden it's really bad,
yeah,
I know that this thing's going to tell me.
Yeah.
So yeah, this thing's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
According to the website, power saving mode for the battery lifetime is up to 2 years.
Wow.
Or you can plug it in with USB. Okay. So and when I said months, I was wrong. It's actually up to 2 years.
That's crazy.
It's a very clean device.
Mm-hmm.
It's white, looks like a modern thermostat. Looks like something that belongs in pretty much any house.
Yep.
It does not demand your attention. Mm-hmm. You can look at it. The screen is nice and easy to figure out what you're looking at. You don't have to pair it to any hub. Yeah. There's no extra piece to buy with this thing.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. I would like to consider getting some of these other Airthings for throughout my house. Mm-hmm. They're pretty nice.
Yeah.
I like, and I think this might be the third thing that we've seen from Airthings now as a website.
Sure.
And I believe there's like a multi-year warranty on these as well.
Nice.
So I really like it. I think that I've paid more attention, and now as the weather changes, I've been really paying attention to the air quality.
Well, and also the thing I noticed when I had mine set up in an office, I had it set up kind of sitting on a counter, the top of a dresser, mm-hmm, and it was close to a vent. So when the fall would happen and the weather change happened, I'd turn on my thermostat, turn it up. Yeah. When my furnace would kick on for the first couple times, I could tell, oh, you know what? I need to change the filter because I am getting some notifications for particulates in my air from the vent.
Yeah. That's a good point. That smell of like, oh, did you run the furnace? Like, mm-hmm, that's dust and things burning off that You're like, that isn't just the air.
Right.
There's something that's got that smell. So is it a case of, what is that? Yeah. I didn't set this up, but there are some integrations if you wanted to set it up with If This Then That.
Oh, yeah.
And Google Assistant.
Perfect.
So if you need it to kind of automate some things for you, there are some smart some other devices you can get for your house. Mm-hmm. purifiers, air purifiers. So I'm sure there's a way to trigger like an outlet to say, hey, if this gets to that, turn on the air purifier. If this gets to that, kick on the central air.
Right.
Or just to kind of maybe flash a light, down in the basement. It's like, oh, hey, it's flashing. Must be, the humidity is high.
Right. Turn on the dehumidifier. Right. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a pretty smart little thing. And I like the app. I like the dashboard. I like the historical look at things. You can see like, yep, it was a little rough here in the first couple of weeks. But if you look at, the scale out to the month or the year, and you can say, oh, yeah, we're heading in the right direction. Or looks like we have some issues.
Sure.
We might not be, we tend to be doing this a little bit more, and that might explain why I keep waking up with sinus pressure.
Yeah.
Or maybe why I'm having a hard time falling asleep. It could be. And what's nice, if you go to Airthings website, it'll tell you what each of these sensors does and how having the wrong, being in the wrong range or zone of those can impact your life.
Right.
So it's something that now, at least my wife and I, were much more cognizant of what's going on.
Definitely.
And so this is called the Airthings View Plus, and you can pick that up right now for about $2.99.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
You're welcome. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.